Hey there, this is Davey Boy Smith Jr., current MLW Tag Team Champion and future MLW World Heavyweight Champion. And you are tuned in to another episode of To Be Blunt with Peasy. Stay tuned.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're tuned in to another episode of To Be Blunt with Peasy.
That's right. You are tuned into the To Be Blunt podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is scheduled for one fall, and we are here on a special July 4th Independence Day show. I'm here with my co-host Frank Knox. Frank, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great. I feel the fireworks are going to explode today on this holiday edition.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be huge. You know, we're live. We've been fucking around. All these other podcasts out there are taking breaks, have been off for a week, and we're here live on the holiday while you guys are out drinking and enjoying yourself. We're here in the podcast to give you all the exclusive shit you need to get through this holiday.
I hope you guys are out there enjoying your margaritas on the beach. We're putting in the work here in the studio. Holiday or not, we're live.
That's right. I'm sitting here. I got 2 fireball shots in front of me, and we're about to do the newest part. You know, I figured this is the To Be Blunt podcast.
Where are my
right,
fireball shots? Oh, here they are. I got 2 in front of me,
damn
too.
it, Frank, I already set you up. Listen, you know, the only way we're going to do this podcast is we're going to do it right.
All right.
And I thought to myself, you know, we're going to run the To Be Blunt podcast. Every podcast should start with the ceremonial lighting of the blunt.
I could dig that.
So I got like a 2-gram King Palm loaded right now.
That is a big blunt. I could testify for it.
Of that jungle, whatever it was, jungle juice, jungle fever.
I think you said it was Jungle Diamonds.
Jungle Diamonds. That's right, Jungle Diamonds. And we're going to do the ceremonial lighting of the blunt. So I ask you, Frank, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
I said, Frank, are you ready?
We're ready.
Then, for the 2 of us in the studio, and then hundreds of you laying at home listening to this podcast, let's get ready to smoke it. Oh man, you know, I never had one of these King Palms before. I think I need a drum roll for that segment, bro.
Yeah,
I think we need
next
a drum
time we're
roll.
going to put a drum roll.
Yeah, you know,
sure.
we need a drum roll.
I mean, that blunt is pretty big.
Holy shit.
People would consider that the size of a
Maybe
gorilla
we need to put a
finger.
picture of this on the Instagram.
Yeah, well, we'll get one up.
Because now this shit's lit. And if you're going to do it, you got to do it now.
All right,
know?
I'll put it up for everyone listening.
You know, look at this thing. King Palm, right at the front. If you don't know, our Instagram page is To Be Blunt Podcast. You want to see the size of this King Palm we got loaded up and our nice little setup, you know, feel free to hit us up. You know, I don't like to even get kicked off into things till I had a few riffs, so we got to go ahead and do that first because I need to have my mind right after spending all day trying to get this shit going. You know, my brother had been in from San Diego, so I've had my time's been a little constrained. Oh, shit, bro.
You're choking already.
Damn, bro. Anyways, like I was saying, so my brother's in town.
Shout out GP.
Yeah, shout out GP. You know, that's my homie. He lives in San Diego now, so he came home to visit, and
We'll see you on the shore, brother.
that's right. And my time had been, you know, taken up. I haven't seen my brother in like months. Since probably August last, you know, Christmas probably.
6
actually.
months, yeah, 6
Still a
months.
long time. So we spent all day today, me and Frank in the studio, putting the show together, getting all the, you know, the sounds ready and all the good shit we do that makes our show fucking hilarious and funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a great time.
And another thing I think we got to bring up, Frank, is the fact, you know, that today is not just any holiday, you know, but Independence Day has me feeling very, you know, American.
Oh, yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
Do you? I feel like it's making me feel real American.
Oh, to all the Hulkamaniacs out there, this one's for you, brother.
Pop your beers and let's go, baby! America! you know something, brother? I'm gonna smoke this here blunt better than anybody's done it before me. It's gonna be the Mega Powers.
Tell me more, brother.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be super. It's gonna be everything, brother. You're gonna take your pills. You're gonna eat your vitamins. You're gonna smoke your weed, and you're gonna do it all here on the 2B Blood Podcast. Sorry, I had to have a little moment there.
I loved every minute of it, man. I mean, you've seen our Instagram page. You saw how I'm feeling for the next 3 days. It's just like the Hulkster, baby.
That's right, and not just about Hulk. You know, today's also the anniversary of when Lex Luger body slammed Yokozuna.
Yes, great memory in my childhood.
You know, and that moment will stick in many fans.
Mine's for
Yes.
the rest of eternity.
Exactly.
We saw many men step in that ring that day, try and not succeed. But one man came in and stood tall, and that man was Lex Luger.
That's right. I just want to say also, shout out, the chat's already popping off on the Spreaker app. If you guys you don't have the Spreaker app, you can chat with us live. If you want to call in, 860-384-7110. We are live in studio. We will pick up. We ain't fucking around. Ooh, I still got Real American going.
And as you know, I mentioned last week, anybody out there want to, be our intern, we will pay you in smoke ups throughout the day or during the show.
And weed.
We'll pay you in weed. So come on in.
Bro, this thing burns like a fucking cigar, bro.
Yeah, that thing is mint.
Here, you want to hit this? I've been
Yeah,
holding on to
I'll
this
hit
shit
it.
since we started.
I'll hit it.
You're going to hit it.
King Palm.
King Palm.
Shout out to King Palm.
I went down to the store, the local head shop, and I was in there shopping around looking for some other shit. And I seen a big bag of these things in the bag. Now, I mean, I've heard of King Palm, any stoner has, but I've never smoked one, so I had to try it out. And I figured, what better time to light that thing than right here on the 2B Blunt Podcast before we get into all the talk about wrestling and whatever else. You know what I mean?
I hear you, Peasy. I hear you. And this is episode
2. You
That's
already
right.
know. Episode 2. And we are 100% in here, and I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a big weekend, AEW, Fyter Fest, Raw and SmackDown with the helm of Paul Heyman and everything
the
else.
new era.
We're going to get into all that. And if we're going to talk about news, what better way to start than to give the hotline, the Kincaid hotline, a ring? What do you say, Frank?
I'm about it, but that son of a bitch tried to rip us off last time.
I know, it's better to be free. Hold on, let's call this guy up. Right now, the Kincaid hotline.
Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive breaking news brought to you by the Kincaid Hotline. And now, renowned reporter Don Kincaid.
It's Don Kincaid, baby!
Frank? I don't think Frank's there. Where's Frank? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think Kincaid, he hung up the phone on us.
No way. We got to call him back.
I swear to God. I don't know what happened. I tried to call Kincaid to play this music, and then the guy was nowhere to be found.
Maybe he's out drinking tequila in his sandals somewhere on the beach.
I can't believe this. I'm not sure what happened
Do
here.
you think the Kincaid hotline's closed today for the 4th of July?
I thought Kincaid said that it was going to be open.
I don't know. I mean, we could try him again.
Gee,
Should we try him again, or should we just move on and we'll try him a little later in the show?
Let's move on, I guess. I mean, what are you going to do? Maybe the Kincaid hotline is closed for the holiday, but I think, we should probably give him a call back in a little bit.
No, we'll call him back. We'll definitely give him a call back.
Well, why don't we go into,
Why don't we go into AEW?
you want to talk about AEW?
Yeah, why not?
Fyter Fest this Saturday took place for free on Bleacher Report Live, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show. It started off a little slow, though. What do you think?
You know what? It did. I thought the first few matches were kind of, there were
Christopher
fillers.
Daniels, Oshima. I mean,
Okay, you brought up a very good point when we were watching the show together. Here, tape this shit for me, man.
yeah, no doubt.
During that match, there was a lady in the front row, right? What was she doing?
She was sleeping.
She was out cold. This lady was snoozing in the front row of AEW Fighter Fest during the Christopher Daniels match. And you pointed that out to me, and I really was like surprised, you know? I couldn't believe it. These people, like, you're in the front row. You're in the front row.
Maybe
and you're going to sit there.
Maybe she was doing that hard stuff that makes people nod out, you know? Maybe she's a nodder.
Maybe. But if you ask me,
the match was slow, and he fought Oshima, who I never even heard of before.
Didn't you make a point to me that they made mention of Oshima fighting Omega earlier, right before the match had started?
Yeah, right before the bell had rang, they announced that Oshima will be fighting Kenny Omega at the next event. So right then and there, as a fan, I'm like, all right, well, I might as well just go on my phone because I know Oshima's going to win. I don't even know who he is, so he has to get the rub. He's fighting pretty much what I consider the biggest name in AEW and best performer, Kenny Omega.
I was just really surprised to hear that they had, let him go out there announcing that he was fighting Kenny Omega. And I thought that you made the good point that they kind of gave away the finish to that match. Before it even started.
Before the bell rang.
Yeah. They already gave it away. So it's like.
So what we thought was going to happen happened. Oshima won. And it was an okay match. I mean, it wasn't anything I'd go back and watch again.
Really?
No. Between the two of them? No, definitely not. I mean, what followed that up was the triple threat match with
Nyla Rose, the women's match.
But my favorite participant in that match is none other than Yuka Sakazaki.
She was great, and that was a lot of fun. She's got the greatest. I swear to God, the greatest
best name.
Yeah, and.
The name makes you hop out of your seat alone. Sakazaki!
I thought that they did a good job, highlighting Nyla Rose's size, against the two smaller wrestlers. And I thought that they both worked together to try to chop her down from the legs, try to take her off her feet and keep her down. And the hype, the way they built the match and how it started all kind of slow, but then it just started building, and you really didn't know which way it was going to go by the end of the match. And at first I told you that the match was like, I didn't really care about it.
You told me, you're like, all right, this is going to be over in a minute.
Yeah, right. I think it was going to be a fucking squash match, bro.
Yeah, and she was just going to set up the dominant Nyla Rose versus King Kong, or Awesome Kong.
King
Sorry,
Kong,
King
this
Kong.
guy.
Okay, well, we're smoking King Kong blunts, so I'm just confused right now.
No, that's true.
Awesome Kong. But yeah, it was a great match, man. I loved every minute of that match.
I love every minute of this blood.
I could tell you're choking.
Oh my God,
choking. That's it. The get choked rapper.
The get choked rapper. Yeah, I told you I never smoked the King Pound. Holy shit, it burns so slow.
So yeah, we had.
Let's keep going. Let's talk about when the show actually started to pick up, in my opinion, which was the
because there was only really 3 big matches in this.
Well, I said the same thing about Double or Nothing, though. The last 3 matches were the highlight. Same thing here. I thought that the last few matches were the highlight, and that would start with Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin.
I personally, hated that match. It was just a beatdown.
You hated it?
The end was okay, but the first 10 minutes was just Darby was just getting thrown around the ring like a rag doll, taking these rag doll bumps that were all Spanish, and it just didn't do it for me.
It did seem like a classic just beatdown.
It was a
like
beat
very
down.
One-sided throughout the first half of the match, maybe the first 3 quarters even.
The dude was taking stupid bumps too. Like, how about the bump on the apron of the ring?
Let's talk about that.
He was doing a trust dive.
I think we even got the clip
what is that
of
called? A trust
The
dive.
trust fall.
A trust fall.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be. That was the trust fall.
Oh, no. What is he got?
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, no. Coffin drop.
Oh, no. Good God almighty.
hardest part of the ring, right on the edge. You know.
I know. I know. I've been there. All right. And everybody knows that the outside of the ring's the hardest part of the ring to fall. And it hurts the most. And I can tell you that from experience. If you don't know, I've been in the ring before. Like, this was something when I saw it and he hit that side. I didn't know what the guy was going to do at first, but when he hit, I literally cringed, bro. I cringed. Like, I literally was just like, I felt like my stomach gets sick. I was like, oh, no, bro. I was like, this guy's fucked. This guy's fucked. Why would you do that? Like,
and that was after taking all those ridiculous bumps leading up to that. He was getting beat down.
Yeah.
And then, after the beatdown was over, is the most talked about incident that happened, which is the chair shot.
Oh, my God. That's right. Oh, I almost forgot about that. You
almost forgot about
sorry, maybe Kincaid not answering my fucking calls threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, I get you.
But
hey, man, he's got a life too. Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's recording a Kincaid file. Or
who the hell knows? But I know Spears comes in. Cody's sitting there on the ground. He runs in with the chair. And, he gave him the most ungodly shot to the top side of his head.
Sickening thud.
And I think we even got the clip of that, too. We should pull it up.
Yeah, we'll pull it up.
Restart this match. Wait a minute. Shawn Spears? Oh, God.
Good God almighty.
Spears with a chair shot right to the...
He cleaned this clock, bro.
He was defenseless, and this is kind of when the pay-per-view took kind of a tipsy turn for me because...
For the better or the worse, though?
For the worse, because this is when the announcers didn't know what to do for 15, 20 minutes. Cody Rhodes wasn't back there producing the show, and they're there with no video packages, just replaying it over and over and over and over.
I don't want to take away from the chair shot, but that was one of the things that I mentioned to you is that in between each fucking match, there was no video package. There was no backstage promo. It was mostly just commentary, sitting there, almost not knowing what to do.
Yeah, they had to carry the show during the slow points. And when there's no story, there's no stories leading up to this show.
That's another problem.
That's what you kind of have to do in a way, too. I mean, what are they supposed to do?
I don't know.
You can't blame good old Jim Ross.
No, but I can tell you what, it made an impact.
For me, it's kind of when I'm like, all right, either show me a video package, get me pumped, or just move on to the next match.
Well, let's move on to back to the subject at hand, the chair shot.
All right.
In your opinion, the chair shot itself, not the fact they got busted open, even though that was what everybody's talking about is how nasty the chair shot is. Where do you think they're going to be going next with this attack? Like, they had not been setting up a match between Cody and Perfect 10 at all up until this point. So what are your thoughts on where they're going to take it from here?
Well, this is setting up the match between Cody and Shawn Spears, also known as Ty Dillinger. Right now, we have a caller coming in. Who is this?
I don't know. Let's see who it is. That's the line. Yeah. Shit. Hello. You're on the 2B Blunt podcast. Who's this?
Send a voicemail. Press 2.
Voicemail? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is this?
Press 1.
Press 1.
I'm not pressing 1.
Whatever. Maybe.
You know what? Is that whoever that was trying to call? God damn it!
It sounded like Don Kincaid
trying
to call.
It probably was Don Kincaid. He's probably mad he missed
Shall
our
we call
call.
him back?
You want to try to call Don Kincaid?
Yeah, let's
back?
try calling him back.
Oh man, I can't. He probably was trying to call us, so we might be able to. Do
I
that.
thought I heard busy.
You thought it would? What are you trying to say? You think it was Moonshine trying to call in?
No, it could have been. I think it was Don Kincaid.
Don Kincaid. Oh, let's try to get Don Kincaid to call again. Maybe he'll pick up this time. That son of a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
maybe we're gonna get lucky.
Let's hope we get lucky.
Brought to you by the
Come on,
Kincaid
Don, pick up.
And now, renowned reporter Don Kincaid.
It's Don Kincaid, baby!
That's right. I just loaded up my minutes for the Kincaid hotline. Kincaid, what do you got for us this week?
Well, first off, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm still charging you double for getting that scoop on Moonshine McCready last week, and this is it. That's it. I am not playing around with you guys anymore. But let's get into some news because Frank Peasy shit is hot right now. And I'm going to start with uncharted territory for Beyond Wrestling last night. Oh, dude, it was insane. But I have to mention one specific match that happened. It was Thomas Santel versus Club Cam. Club Cam is Cam Zygami turned into Club Cam. He's evolved into something that we've never seen before. And then on the outskirts was one Richard Holiday. It was one Christian Casanova. They wanted to beat the piss out of Thomas Santel and stuff him in a garbage can. But instead of stuffing him in that garbage can, they put him in the ring. All three of them were beating the hell out of poor Thomas Santel. Cam Zygami, he took off his belt and whipped, yes, he whipped Thomas Santel with a belt. It was brutal. And then out comes none other than Nick fucking Gage, baby. And I'm telling you, this is going to be insane because next week there's a tag team that's set up already. It's going to be Thomas Santel and Nick Gage. It's like the Odd Couple coming together, and they're going to go against two mystery guys we don't even know. But that's going to be next Wednesday on Uncharted Territory. You guys cannot miss this shit.
That's going to be right down on Foxwoods, huh? Right in our home state.
Oh, dude.
Catch your breath, Don. Catch your breath. Come on. My minutes are ticking, though. Come on, hurry up.
Okay.
Get it together, Don. We need you.
Right. I'm good. Okay. Now, this is some really big news that I think you guys are going to want to hear. Now, Flip Gordon, he had a little injury for a little while, but then when he came back, you started seeing a little bit different in Flip Gordon. Now, talk about evolution. Flip Gordon is now called the Mercenary Flip Gordon, and he has now entered the fray, if you will, with Villain Enterprises. That is led by none other than Marty Scurll himself, and the other cohorts with him is Brody King and PCO, plus Flip Gordon the Mercenary as a foursome in ROH is going to create havoc in wrestling. That's all I'm saying, PZ.
That is huge news, Don. That's a big team right there.
Dude, I don't know how much more I can give you guys right now.
Don, come on. We need a couple more stories. We're not asking for much here.
Well,
we paid the minutes.
Catch his breath. You see him dying over here?
We're paid the minutes. Give us our goddamn dirt already.
Hey, you know what? I want to keep you guys on as long as I can because I'm charging you double. So you know what? I've got more information.
Whoa, Don. Let's not forget that you owe us this week for giving us the old news and making us break the breaking news.
Oh, okay. You want some breaking news? I'll give you some breaking news.
Let's hear it.
All right, now. Okay. Now. All right. Okay, breaking news. It's SmackDown. I have to talk about the viewership of SmackDown lately. It's been dropping over the past 4 weeks. This past SmackDown on Tuesday night, it only brought in 1.9 million viewers. PZ, Frank, what the hell is going on with the viewership? I hope this PG stuff turns around. They can make it edgier like they're going to say, and we get some more action on WWE TV. And not only that, on the WWE, when they go to Fox, oh man, in October it's going to be insane because Fox wants so many changes. Now, Fox wants none other than the Potus, the President of the United States, the Donald himself, to make a return to WWE TV.
What?
And I think they just...
Are you talking Donald Trump, the President of the United States?
The Potus, baby!
The man who lost in a hair versus hair match in WrestleMania?
Oh, my God.
Hey, he's a Hall of Famer. Come on, guys. He's a Hall of Famer.
Wow, Donald Trump on SmackDown.
Sounds desperate.
So, hey, let's not call it desperation right now. It's possibility, but let's not call that right now. So let me end with some more news if I can. And I know you guys... Oh, wait. I've got two more. Let me sneak in this one, baby. You're going to love this. The WWE Network is hosting the Evolve anniversary show. If I'm not mistaken, it is their anniversary because they've been rolling for about 10 years now. Now, check this shit out. It is going to be two of our home local guys. It's going to be Josh Briggs versus the retrosexual Anthony Green on the WWE Network.
I hope he brings his honeys.
Don, you know, I think you got a thing for Anthony Green.
Well, he does roll around with the honeys, Peasy.
Hey,
that must be what Don likes about it.
Yeah.
I hope that's what he likes about it.
Hey, I don't roll that way. Only on every other Saturday it is, I think. But that's beside the point. That's a different story. And, hey, I got to end this because I am sweating my ass off. It's like 100 degrees outside. And, you know, I'm going to end with something big because you guys like the AEW, don't you?
That's right.
Yeah, we're fans.
All right. I got something for you. Check this shit out. Now,
What you got for us?
at the last event, which is Fighter Fest, we've seen, again, a couple of our local boys, Private Party, really get to shine, if you will, in a tag team match. And not only did they shine, but they were offered a full-time contract with AEW.
Wow. Private Party. Weren't they over in Queens, House of Glory?
They were everywhere, baby. They were at NEW. They were at PvP. They were everywhere. You name it, they were everywhere. And not only that, with the AEW news, check this out. July 13th will mark their next event, and it's going to be called Fight for the Fallen. And not only that, it's going to be on Bleacher Report for free again, baby. Check that shit out.
I still don't understand how they're going to be making any money over there if they keep putting these shows out for free.
Well, hey, man, you know, that's why we don't own the company, so we'll just see where it goes. But
I think they're making money off the subscriptions.
That's very possible because...
Subscriptions to what?
Yeah, check this out, PG, check this out. Not only did 150,000 people watch the free stream, but Bleacher Report Live got 300,000 more subscribers just from the Fight Fest itself.
Wow. I mean, that's a big jump.
They're turning that into a way to make revenue.
I think everybody's making a few cents on all of these clicks and whatnot, and all of the streaming and all of that. And I think it's going to start coming together. Like you guys said, how the hell are they making money? But I mean, Cody Rhodes just got knocked in the head with a very hard chair shot. So I don't know what his thinking is nowadays, but let's see where it goes. That's all I got to say. And AEW, man, they're a force to be reckoned with right now. Everybody's talking AEW.
Wow, Don. That's a lot of dirt for this week.
Well, Don, you're charging us double into the 4th of July, so we're going to have to let you go.
Wait, I got 10 more stories since I'm charging you double.
Sorry, Don. Everyone, the human dirt sheet, Don Kincaid.
It's the highest motherfucking podcast around. To be blunt.
With Peasy.
And we're back. Finally, that motherfucker picked up, huh?
I know. What the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ. I had to call him twice today just to get the news.
I'll tell you right now, that better never happen again, Don.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Our listeners better be thankful that they don't have to call because this is ridiculous.
I know. It's a full-time job for Don.
That's it. You know? But he's always got the dirt. You know? You got to give him that. He's the human dirt sheet. Don Kincaid.
Don Kincaid, baby.
You know? And we got the King Kong of all blunts here today, the King Palm. Which we will light again. I wish I had my drum roll effect, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah, I don't have one. I can't really do it verbally. I'm not a good beatboxer.
Nah. Well, thank God, you know? But let's go right back in. Like, we were talking about the chair shot from Spears to Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And I asked you where we thought that this was actually going to head into. You know?
It's heading down one road and one road only. That's Spears, Rhodes. Rivalry feud. I know Cody Rhodes is just, he fought his brother. Now he's teaming up with his brother.
So you think this is going to be maybe the first AEW long-term feud?
Yeah, for sure.
I hope so. I'm going to tell you why. Because they need a story to,
This is the beginning of the first story that's going to be told in AEW.
But they need a story to go off of. Like they're hyping all these shows.
Yeah, what we need to know now is why did he give him the chair shot?
Well, I mean,
what's his intentions?
Well, I think he wants,
he wants to be known.
Yeah. Why did he make the jump? Per se, only to come back and be put to the back of the line again. I'm sure that wasn't what he thought was going to happen. I thought him and Cody were, backstage friends and whatnot.
Could be all the work.
It's some bullshit. That's what this is. Yeah. Let's go into,
so after the chair shot, like we said, it was... They should have went to the next match probably 10 minutes sooner than they did?
They should have, but they didn't. That was the tag match.
Yep.
The 6-man tag match, actually, it was, with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. and they came out in their Street Fighter gear.
Yes, sir.
And you apparently were not a fan of this.
No, I was not a big fan at all.
And why were you not a fan of this?
It was just
gimmick?
a little too cheesy. I don't know. They did the whole music, and they moved like them. It was kind of funny. I guess, I don't know. I guess it was pretty funny, but
I'll tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like the guy who came on stage. Did the whole gimmick before Kenny Omega came out.
Yeah, that's the part that threw me off.
Oh, I thought you didn't like the actual outfits. You got something you don't like about Street Fighters, or just maybe
I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy, so maybe I do. But I do love a good Ryu or Ken, like
Hadouken. That's a shit, yo. I should say that from now on when I go to Late to Hell. Hadouken.
We could just get a sound clip of one of them doing it.
That'd be so much easier.
But it's way cooler to just go Hadouken.
I mean, it is. It is. But let's move on. I mean, that match was great, but I want to.
Yeah, I want to let you know that it was a 5-star match, and my uncle Rick Knox officiated the match. AEW's best official, best referee in the game. My uncle Rick Knox. Shout out to my uncle Rick.
I can't believe it. That's amazing. Your Uncle Rick out there working AEW.
Yeah, he worked the tag match, and it was a spot fest. Great match, 5-star match. If you watch it, it's just a spot fest. Great match.
You would say that.
Yeah, I would. I liked it.
Should we talk about the main event though?
Oh,
maybe
the main event. That was my favorite part. That was
it wasn't really the main event though. It really wasn't.
Because it was a unsanctioned,
unsanctioned match. See, so Jon Moxley versus Bad Boy Joey Janela, and holy fucking shit, bro, that match was crazy. They just went all out, old school ECW. They pulled out all the fucking hardcore stops, and my mind was blown most of the match. Like, the level of violence was incredible, and some of it even funny.
The match was awesome, very extreme. I mean, you're talking thumbtacks, ladders, tables, barbed wire, tables with barbed wire. I mean, these guys were pulling thumbtacks and barbed wire off their skin, out of their ass. Hey, what it do?
I'll tell you, I got
what it do, baby.
One of my favorite things about that was when he took Joey Janela and he took his shoes and socks off after he laid the tacks down.
Oh, yeah.
And he drops his feet right down on the tacks. I hope I got the clip of that, because the noise that Janela makes when his feet hit the tacks was literally incredible.
Tacks! No! Good God Almighty! Hit into his heel! He's screaming in agony!
How about Janela on the top of the ladder, though? I mean, that was...
Oh, man.
That was one of my favorite moments.
That man on top of the ladder.
He's crazy. He's great.
I mean, he was, maybe 15 feet in the air? 20 feet in the air off the biggest ladder they got?
He's not the biggest guy. He's not the, tallest guy, strongest guy.
To a whole new level.
But this guy is awesome.
Paul Turner pleading with Janela. Trying to
touch the crowd. What's he going to do?
Jon Moxley, and through the tables they both go.
You heard it, through the table they both go. And what an incredible visual.
Yeah,
they pulled out all the stops, ladders, tables, chairs. It didn't matter. Thumbtacks, and then of course at the end Moxley gets the win with the Hell Rider, whatever they call it now. It's every week we
the Hell Rider.
I don't know, because every promotion he changes the fucking name. How do you expect a guy who smokes like I do to remember that shit?
You smoke like I smoke.
That's right. But right on the tacks, and it was just, it was so good. And, I'll give you.
Yeah, so he got the win.
Get the applause.
But it wasn't over yet, because as you remember, and
Oh, that's right.
The last pay-per-view, he came out and attacked Omega, where he made his debut right on the poker chip.
So he had to come back and get his revenge. That was incredible.
So now we have our second feud built up.
That's it. You're right. Now we have two.
So, yeah.
So maybe we're getting something here.
We're getting something here.
They got to have something. They can't just jump on TV
Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega, I'll buy that pay-per-view 10 out of 10 times every day.
This is true. I hear you.
You know, so
Dude, we got a
I'm
caller
excited
calling
to see
in.
that. All
we
right,
got a caller.
Let's see who's calling in.
Hello, you're on the 2B Blunt podcast.
Peasy, Frank Knox, what's going on? Happy 4th, fellas.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, this is the Scott.
Oh,
Remember
Scott.
that name.
Wait.
Remember it now.
The Scott? Like the Scott.
right.
This is the Scott that we were talking about last week, Frank, where I told you that if we needed someone to fact check us, this would be the guy.
This man is the master of all wrestling knowledge.
Oh.
You guys couldn't have said it any better myself. That's right. I am the Scott. The word mark, it's done. It's dead. It's over. It's passé. It's gone. It's all about the Scots now. And out of all the Scots, I am the Scott. I know more wrestling knowledge than anybody out there. I have all this knowledge in my head, and I'm putting it to the test right here on the 2B Blunt podcast. So, challengers, listeners, bring it on. Call in. I want to hear if you could take out the Scott.
So in case you guys didn't know, for all the listeners, the Scott is literally the smartest wrestling fan of all time. This guy is unmatched in trivia. I have seen him over the years firsthand destroying entire crowds of people in wrestling trivia. This man is unstoppable. And we here at the 2B Blunt podcast are we're going to put this guy over. We want you guys to call in and try to stump the Scott. That's going to be the newest segment coming in a couple of weeks, where you will call in. Willie will have the Scott in studio, right?
The one and only.
The one and only. And you will have the opportunity to try to stump the Scott for a prize.
I don't see anyone doing it, Peasy.
I don't think anybody's going to stump the Scott. And like, we've known Scott for a long time now. This is, probably 15 years easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody smarter than him when it comes to wrestling.
I don't know anybody who's as big as a wrestling fan as the Scott. In fact, he's so much of a wrestling fan is why we got rid of the word marks in our inner circle and started calling everyone Scots.
We're just Scots, but he is the Scott.
Scott, how long would you say you've been watching wrestling for?
Oh, my God. I think since I could crawl.
Since you could crawl?
Since I could crawl. We're talking late 1980s, yeah, but I've got plenty of knowledge in this brain, and I'm ready to put it to the test.
Frank, you want to try him out?
Bring it on, Frank.
You want to give him a question, Frank?
Hey, Scott, I got a question for you. Who were the participants in the last WCW championship match?
Oh, he's going to go last WCW championship
You
match.
talking about the last WCW show or the last WCW pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view.
Oh, pay-per-view? Because I'll give you both if you want.
Give us both.
You want to show out, Scott?
Show out.
So the last WCW pay-per-view, that would be Greed. And the title match, the championship match at that, would be none other than Scott Steiner defending against Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh.
Bang!
Huh?
And if you want to know the last WCW championship match, and of course, I'm pretty sure your question was the original WCW. We're not talking about some invasion, stuff in WWF, right? We're talking about
No, we're
WCW.
talking Nitro. We're talking TNT on
Right.
Monday night.
So we're talking, I'll even give you this, March 25th, 2001, the last Nitro, Panama City Beach, Florida, right? The main event, actually it wasn't the main event, but it was the championship match that night, and it was Scott Steiner defending the title against Booker T.
There you go.
Wow.
Can you check the facts here? Is he right?
Somebody check it.
I'm
Somebody check
looking.
it.
I'm
Let me know
looking.
right, 'cause I already know.
Well, what we thought would happen is happening, and the Scott is right on.
Oh, my God. See, this
He
is what I'm
delivered.
talking about. I don't think anybody out there in the podcast world, in the 2B Blunt universe, is going to be able to stump this guy. And that's why we're going to do this segment, Stump the Scott. I don't think anybody's going to be able to step up to the plate. This man will be the 2B Blunt Trivia champion. We got to get a belt made for this guy before he even starts. We're going to put him over.
It's already in production, Peasy. It's already in production.
I'm liking the sounds of that belt. All right.
So, Scott, what do you think? Maybe in a few weeks we'll have you in studio and we'll run this. We'll let the audience come in and challenge, and you can come in and see if you can be stumped, which I know is not possible.
It sounds good. I will let the people know when I'm there, and they can bring it on.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Scott.
All right, Scott.
right.
Nice
Should I
talking
say
to you.
the Scott?
That's right, the Scott.
The Scott. You got any
Later,
last
guys.
words, Scott, before we let you go?
No, I think we're good. I look forward to the challenge.
All right. Thanks,
All
Scott.
right. Happy 4th of July, Scotty.
That's right. Happy 4th, fellas.
My name is Brian Pillman Jr. I am 1/3 of the New Heart Foundation on Major League Wrestling, and you are listening to Peasy on the 2B Blunt podcast.
We are back on the 2B Blunt podcast. Can you believe the Scott called in?
I've been waiting, man. The Scott is like one of a kind brain.
We spoke about the Scott last week a little bit. He's like the ultimate knowledge, like when it comes to wrestling. It's incredible. And anytime you need a fact for anything, this guy knows the date, the place, the time, where it happened, who was there, everything.
Yeah, I mean, remember the time you played trivia with him?
Oh my God. Yo.
People were like amazed. They were like getting on all fours, like praising the Scott. Like, oh my God, how'd you know that question?
It's a good story, right? So the three of us, right? It was three of us, if I recall.
It was me, you, and Mario. And
Scott.
Me,
you, Mario, Scott. That's right. You guys don't know Mario, but me, you, Mario, and Scott were at this trivia thing to try to win tickets to go to SmackDown or some shit.
SmackDown in Brooklyn.
Yeah, something like that. And so we had a team. We show up there, and got our little table set up and everything, and they start going through the questions, round after round. And every time they asked the question, we wouldn't even have a chance to think before Scott was already writing the fucking answer down on the paper. Literally not even a chance. There's people sitting there stumped looking at their paper like it was the fuggliest thing they've ever seen in their life. Just this look of disgust, because they just could not figure it out.
But then only four stand tall, and that was me, you, and these Scott and Mario.
You didn't do shit.
Yeah, I know. Scott should have just stood up there by himself. We should have took the picture, shined his shoes.
If I were to Scott after that performance, I would take those tickets. I'd take my ass down to Brooklyn. I'd take all four seats. I'd sit in the fucking middle. I'd have my food on one side, my drinks on the other, and my jacket on the other, and just to piss the guy off at the head next to me. That's what I would do. That's how you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was great. Shout out to these Scott.
Let's get it moving now. I've got a lot to talk about still.
Yeah, we didn't even get to WWE.
Yeah, we got to talk to WWE because what a week. I mean, what a Monday, I should say.
I mean, Heyman came back with a bang.
That you can tell from the start of the show that man had his hands all over it.
Had to have.
All over it. And it all started off, they kick off the show.
And a falls count anywhere match.
Falls count anywhere. You got Braun Strowman.
Bobby Lashley. Yeah, they've been feuding for weeks.
Work it up, damn it. Tell them.
They've been feuding for weeks, and there's nothing these two wouldn't do to destroy one another at this point. But then, your mind is blown. They took it one step further. Braun Strowman went off his rocker. He pretty much speared Bobby Lashley through the LED screen on the Titantron. And it started off with a bang, and simply all I have to say is, holy shit.
Holy shit! I think that frustration of Bobby...
That was incredible. This happens when you're live, But that, my God, I mean, when they went through there, all the pyros, it was crazy. It was wild. It was... Some may say overdone. I thought it was beautifully done. You know what I mean?
It was a tad overdone.
It really put up... Well, I think they really put up the moment. They put it over big time. They even had that one side camera that was stuck on for a while and to make you feel like all the other equipment went out. And they just had some hard cam staring at the side of the stage.
Yeah, they really won. I mean, it felt so real. I mean, especially the concern in Michael Cole's voice and just everything that was happening was... It seemed like Paul Heyman really came back with a bang, and that was kind of just the beginning of Raw. I mean,
that was, but then what happened after that was, the whole Corey Graves holy shit thing.
Yeah,
as you heard in the clip,
uncensored. Yeah. I mean, is it really? It seems like they're turning a new leaf. They want to go back to edgier.
Yeah,
the PG era, as I like to call it, may be over.
Yeah. Then we had the Street Profits make their debut from NXT. I don't know if it's their official debut, but they had their own little segment there.
That was their first time on Raw.
Yeah, first time on Raw. Yeah. They came in. They had a nice little intro. I thought that was cool.
They cut their promo
for a very special sermon. Your NXT Tag Team Champion. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, the Street Profits on Monday Night Raw.
You heard it live on Raw, the Street Profits. And I thought that was pretty cool to see, giving the NXT Tag Champions a little shine. And that wasn't even the first promo, or the last promo, I should say, cut. They went the whole show cutting their own little segments throughout the whole gimmick.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was pretty sick.
I mean, you can't... NXT, the top talents over there, they're big names, and they get pops at Raw and SmackDown. I think they should incorporate them more.
Yeah, I mean... You know who else they should incorporate more? I'm going to say it. Corbin. Oh, my God. Did you see the promos he cut throughout Raw? And his little suave one he did with Lacey Evans when she was getting ready and he was sitting behind her on the crate talking. Oh, man. I'll tell you, that guy is a great fucking heel.
So but do you still want him to get the strap? Because I told you last week, he's going to get the strap. And you're like, no, I don't think
they're
so.
going to give it to him. And I'm enjoying what he's doing right now.
No, he has to get it, though. Because look at how giddy you are talking about him.
Dude, because when they cut the promo and I seen him and he felt like he was just looking at me and I just like literally was laughing. Is this the one
before she fought Natalia?
Yes. Yeah.
They were still kind of hinting at the breakup too during that promo too.
Let's not talk about the promo with Seth and Becky.
Yeah, no, that was
horrendous. That was uncomfortable. That made me sick to watch. I don't understand why they keep putting these two on screen together because there is literally zero chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope Paul Heyman puts the end to this. This is something that was already decided probably before he took the reins, but
it makes me uncomfortable to have to watch. They put them on camera and it's just like
it's two people that don't like each other.
They don't like each other. You could tell just right here.
Bex, tell him I'm not impulsive.
As you can tell, that was my reaction to that whole segment.
And speaking of Seth Rollins being impulsive, as you remember last week, we had talked about his tweets.
Yeah, what about him?
He ended up apologizing to...
the Will Ospreay?
Yeah, to Will Ospreay.
Yeah,
he ended up apologizing about that, yeah. He apologized to Will Ospreay. Sorry, I had a little moment where I couldn't think about the guy's name, but...
what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it feeds into he's a little impulsive, at least on his promo, is what I was thinking. He even said it in a tweet that followed up.
So you thought that segment was referencing?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
I didn't know what. I didn't pick up on that. You might be right.
Yeah, they're working the Seth Rollins thing. He even acts like his character on the WWE on Twitter lately,
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Like, burn it down. He doesn't care, He's ready to burn anyone down, any bridges, it seems. Because he comes to ring with the chair and stuff.
Well, if he wants to come to the 2B Blunt podcast, we could definitely burn it down.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week. But you know who else got burned down?
Who's that?
Mike fucking Bennett. All right?
Yeah, we saw his baptism and his funeral, I think, this Monday night.
I thought last week when he walked out of 205 Live that was going to be for the better. That was going to lead to maybe a little main event roster, comeback. Because he was there before they pretty much pushed him back down to 205. You know? And what ended up happening? I mean, he literally got verbally, destroyed by his wife, Maria Kanellis.
Yeah, on live TV.
It was, you want to talk about uncomfortable?
Yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable, but hey,
But I also feel like that segment, that whole entire thing,
it's all working into that man thing.
I think it's you can tell Heyman's hands were all over that. Oh my God, yeah. We got another caller
unknown
now.
Caller.
Should we
this
answer
person's
it?
unknown. Yeah, we could see who it is. It's Moonshine.
It's a Moonshine. Hold on, Moonshine.
I think a Moonshine.
Moonshine?
Crazy.
Moonshine?
Peasy, what's going on there, buddy? How you doing?
Moonshine McCready. Hey, how's it going, man?
How's rehab, Moonshine?
Good, happy Independence Day.
Moonshine, are you enjoying Independence Day by having a drink?
No, sir, I cannot drink right now. They will not let me drink. That's why I am stuck in rehab, my friend.
So you're still in rehab, huh?
I still am here. You know, I got to beat my demons, but it's hard.
I thought that you were.
It's not an easy thing to do, my friend.
I thought that was like a 1 or 2 day thing. Like I didn't realize you were like stuck in.
No.
He's giving it an honest effort this time.
This is like a live-in facility.
I got years and years and years of drinking behind me, my friend. You know, it's not a 1 or 2 day fix. It's going to take a little while. But
hey, Moonshine.
When I come back, I'm going to come back stronger, my friend.
Moonshine, the world wants to know, how many days have you been sober?
I don't know. I can't count that high. I still can't count past like 3, maybe 4 sometimes, depending. but I still don't know how to count. But I'm learning, my friend. I am learning how to read.
Yes, that's amazing. They're teaching you how to read, Moonshine.
I'm learning, but I'm not too good at it, but I'm going to get there.
What's your favorite thing to read?
Hey, pamphlets. That's all I know right now.
Oh shit!
That's all I can read.
That's all they got for you there.
But I'm learning.
Sounds like jail, Moonshine.
Sometimes it's close. I think. I don't know. No, jail. At least you get 3 meals a day. I only get 2, so I don't eat that much. But that's all right. You know. I get to sleep in a room and go to meetings, and that's it. That's all I really do.
Moonshine.
Let me call you once a week.
When are you going to return to the ring?
I don't really know. I'm in rehab for the rest of July. It's July, right?
What? It's July, yeah.
It is July. Yeah, it's July. For the rest of July, I'm not allowed to come out, and we're gonna see what happens in August. That's the next one, right?
August.
Right. Well, we hope to see you in August, man. When you get out of rehab, call us up. Come smoke a blunt over here at the 2B Blunt podcast.
That's right.
I can't do that.
What do you mean?
That's part of the stuff. You're not allowed to smoke the wacky tobacco neither.
Damn, that really is like hell.
That's what they say. They say, am I leading to going back to drinking moonshine? And I'm like, well, what about vodka? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but what about tequila? They're like, no. I'm like, what about moonshine? They're like, you're not allowed to drink moonshine. I'm like, but I like moonshine. They're like, no, you can't drink moonshine. I'm like, that's not fair. But that's all right. I'll figure it out.
Wow, Moonshine. That's amazing. I'm so happy you called. I got to say, I hope you have...
Yeah, me too.
I'm so happy you're sober, man. That's at least 7 days if you're still in rehab.
I'm not really that happy I'm sober, but I am.
We're going to keep count for you over here at the podcast. We know you got at least 7. Let's make it to 14,
7 what?
7 days clean
All
since
right,
the last time you called in.
7 days, oh my God. I'm not too happy about that. That's a big number.
Damn, Frank, I think you pissed off Moonshine.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, Moonshine, I just
stop throwing these big numbers at me.
I just took a shot of whiskey for you.
Damn,
that's so nice. I wish I could. Good temptation. Don't do it. Okay, I'm good. I'm going.
Wow. Damn.
What?
This is amazing. Well, you know what? I love this holiday.
It's great.
It's you got Moonshine calling in from rehab for the second week in a row. Moonshine, can you call back next week too? I mean, I want to get like weekly updates.
Yeah,
from you.
we're gonna keep track of how many days sober Moonshine
Is there
has.
like a phone number I gotta call to get in touch with you, or are you gonna call me?
Big number. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Sometimes they let me call. They don't. I won't call that 2B Blunt podcast. I'm out there.
All right, I don't know. This guy.
Yeah, he was chopping up.
Moonshine, I love you, but you're breaking up, man.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
wow,
it.
Moonshine, man.
You guys got to get in a nice place. You know, this is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, poor Michael Bennett. Good for Moonshine.
Yeah, good for Moonshine. Poor Mike Bennett, though. I mean, he literally got shit on. And it was the ultimate burial. Like, they just literally shit all over him. And his wife said some stuff that, you know, shocked a lot of people online. I'll tell you that.
How could I be pregnant? I don't know, because I don't think you're man enough to get me pregnant.
Oh, God. I mean, that's a Paul Heyman line. It's Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
That's Paul Heyman all day. You know, let's talk about one of my favorite parts of Raw, though, the very end. You know, Ricochet versus AJ Styles, round 2.
They started it off with a heated exchange backstage with some pretty stiff open hand slaps
Little-
across
little-
the face.
Couple slaps across the face, hype
couple
each other
slaps.
up.
And they it's the first time they fought each other since House of Glory.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Ricochet and AJ Styles.
Oh, they fought the week before.
Oh, they did? Wow, I guess I am blunted.
This is like the rematch, bro.
Well, I'm so used to rematches.
Well, it don't matter. Either way, what happened at the end, the thing is Ricochet beat him the first time, right? So they want the rematch. And then AJ Styles lost again.
Yeah, I was confused. I'm high, you're right.
Yeah. And then he snapped, and in comes the club,
The Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers.
Thank the Lord that's over. The club, they came over with all those guys and they were kind of just never used.
Yeah. And now they're finishing
back.
off Raw in style.
The club rides once again.
You heard him. We are the club, and we're back.
They're back.
It's huge, huge. Overall, I thought Raw, and I think most people out there feel the same way. It was like a huge improvement from the past few weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
It was huge, and it was. I magically I stayed awake for fucking 3 hours. So to me, I thought they did a good fucking job because I even started it late.
What did you think of the Shane McMahon and Undertaker promo?
I'll tell you what I did like about that was the old school lightning pyro.
Loved it. Didn't know where it was coming from.
Didn't know where it's coming from. They did the whole lights flicker and shit. And then all of a sudden, the
typical mind games.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the lightning to the post in forever.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite things,
Very nostalgic.
It was very nostalgic. And I thought it kind of created a cool, unique moment we haven't seen in a while. It was great.
See, the lightning bolts.
Lightning bolts.
See, what I didn't like about that was Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre came out there, and Drew McIntyre was like, I came out here for a fight, as you could see, because one thing I was wondering about Drew McIntyre, he's always in ring gear, right? You ever see that guy in street clothes? He's always got promos.
No, he's always got his trench coat.
He's always got his trench coat.
And he's got his little fucking tights on.
Yeah.
Which
is funny. You never see him in anything but ring gear. But he came out, I'm dressed for a fight, and then as soon as, Dead Man came out, him and Shane scurried 4 rows deep into the arena.
Well,
why talk that smack if you're not going to back it up?
Because that's what, that's what they're supposed to do.
The mind games.
The mind games, right.
Mind games.
On both ends. On both sides. And then Undertaker, cut that great promo. I know you felt it was kind of...
It was little. He delivered it slowly. It wasn't that it was bad. He just delivered it slow.
I feel like that's how he used to do them, though. Like back in the day. It was very, iconic the way he did it. It was very reminiscent of the old like Undertaker. And I'm talking old, like 90s,
I mean, the content was very, very old Undertaker, talking about the Reaper of Souls. And I'm here to take your soul.
And you will rest in peace. And then boom, pyros again.
Yep.
That's it. Right into it. I'll tell you what I didn't understand is why the hell we got Miz versus Elias in a 2 out of 3 falls match again.
Yeah, that was, again.
I know you were talking about that. You brought this up earlier. We were talking before we got on the air. And I wanted to bring that up because, here I was thinking after Raw, we were getting, out of the rematch cycles.
And then here's Eric Bischoff. He's coming to deliver on Tuesday nights.
Well, I don't think Eric Bischoff started yet.
He hasn't started?
I don't think he's supposed to start until after Extreme Rules.
All right. So you've read that?
Yes.
All right. So, but Monday night was Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman started immediately. Yeah. 100%. Although remember that meme I sent you?
Yep.
With the Keanu, which was very interesting, because it was right. Like, what if they just told us that he was running the show?
But he wasn't.
But he wasn't. And just to make us think he was.
Mind games.
Mind fucking games. How mind blown.
Yep.
And but I don't know. So we got the 2 out of 3 falls match again. It wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. It was decent. Storyline wise, I didn't understand why it happened.
Maybe Elias and Miz are gonna, battle at Extreme Rules in a guitar gimmick, probably a gimmick match. The next match they're gonna have.
I just felt like overall SmackDown was like totally different from Raw, but not in a good way. Like
terrible.
It felt like, it did last week.
They had its moments where it felt like it was moving away from the PG
so what?
era.
When Kofi Kingston gave Samoa Joe the middle finger?
Yeah, that was the only moment.
All right. I mean, that was cool to see. But other than that, that's the edgiest fucking thing they did. Our show is more edgy than this shit.
Well, no, that's not the edgiest thing they did. They also allowed Big E to get a singles match, which is great because they never do.
Dude, I popped when they told me we were getting
I
Big
couldn't
E
believe it.
versus Daniel Bryan. It was high profile. And it was a great match.
Great match.
He really worked. I loved Big E and his style. That works as a great big man who got some agility behind him.
Yo, I'm a big Big E Link.
Yeah, me too. And I thought the match was good.
And then later on, they worked the story into the Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler versus the
what?
I don't know, Heavy Machinery or
Heavy Machinery.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. I was having a stone moment. I was hoping you were gonna carry me.
No, because I was right. I was having the same moment.
So the Heavy Machinery, yeah, they worked the outside the ring. They were throwing the pancakes. Here you go, eat your pancakes. When Rowan and Bryan attacked them.
That's it. They came out at the end. They had a little bit of
they had a feud going.
A little bit of a food fight at the end there.
Food fight. Yep.
Overall, though, a lot of the people online were complaining about SmackDown. They just felt like Raw had felt so fresh, and SmackDown felt like the same old shit. So I guess we'll find out what happens next week and see if things are a little different on SmackDown.
Well, I'm looking forward to Extreme Rules. The build-up of the matches. I'm thinking the card's getting very good, which is going to bring us right to SummerSlam.
That's it. Right into SummerSlam.
So that's why I'm saying
Extreme Rules is usually a good pay-per-view.
Corbin and Evans will have the belts, and then
all right, we'll see.
Coming into SummerSlam,
we'll see. I know that will definitely incite the keyboard warriors online to cry about it, and who better to tell us more about that than our correspondent,
Bill?
That's right. It's Bill Bungie with Trolling Loud.
Now that I'm so pissed off!
This is Trolling Loud with Bill Bungie.
Bill Bungie on the line here with another edition of Trolling Loud. Bill Bungie, what do you got for us this week?
I would love to say happy 4th of July, but none of you marks can enjoy or appreciate anything. So just continue being miserable, complain about the heat, complain about the humidity, and complain that America isn't what it should be, and just keep complaining and complaining.
That seems to be a lot of what's going on online these days. Everybody's just complaining.
All the time. And I'm here to complain about you, Mark, not you, Peasy, and not you, other guy, Frank, or whatever your name is.
The name's Frank.
You tried to pick an
Get it
argument
right.
with me. Well, you know what? I don't want to argue with you. I want to argue with all these marks at home.
So let them have it.
Forgive me for last week. All right. So basically, all I've heard about all week is, oh, well, Ty Dillinger hit Cody too hard in the head with the chair, and it was supposed to be gimmick, but then they said gimmick, and we don't want anyone to acknowledge that wrestling is predetermined, and it's just, guys, like, I don't know how else to tell you this. Like, AEW is getting over by being smart, by presenting a professional wrestling product that is very self-aware, that is very, I'm trying to think of the right word that isn't too big for you people to understand, but they are owning up to what we all know about wrestling. Nobody's using the word fake. They're just saying that they didn't mean to bust Cody Rhodes' head open as bad as his brother busted his own head open at the last event.
Oh, but what a chair shot that was,
Sickening thud.
Sickening thud. And then you go on Twitter and you think everybody would be popping off for that, but everybody's whining because they admitted that the chair shot wasn't supposed to happen, they said.
I challenge any of those couch warriors, those keyboard warriors, to get in that ring and take that chair shot, gimmicked or not. They did something great in doing it. And listen, concussions aren't great. Not protecting yourself isn't great. You know, how bad must Ty have felt for doing it, you know? It was a moment that you can't get on WWE right now, and they did it. So that's one thing. You know, another thing I would have to say is they're whining and crying about how they use or don't use Braun Strowman, right?
Oh yeah, that's been a hot topic lately,
dude. And they finally, instead of him tipping over an ambulance, which is physically impossible, instead of him, I don't know, picking up Titan Towers and walking around with it, which is stupid, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
he does something that makes sense. That actually adds a level of intensity to the feud he has. And people are like, oh, there's too much fireworks.
Dude,
Bro.
That was pissing me off when I seen that shit online.
First off, it's the 4th of July, Mark. That's your fireworks. Second off, I mean, it's realistic. It makes sense. It's something that a big, strong guy could actually do. So how about stop whining about what they're not doing with him? See what they are doing with him. You asked for Paul Heyman.
They did.
Paul Heyman brought some realism. I was among many who were sitting there being reasonable, being intelligent, and thinking, well, Paul Heyman's not going to have a huge impact immediately. He can't. You know, you have to follow through on the storylines that already exist before he starts tampering with them. But
right.
No, you get one of the best Raws in the last 2 years, which people still find a way to complain about.
Which is unbelievable to me, you know?
Speaking of all the complaining, one more thing. You guys want to whine. You want to bitch about Shane McMahon getting all this screen time because you'd rather see your favorite wrestler in that spot. First off, whether he is a complete machine like Ricochet, who could do all the flippy-dippy shit that I don't like anyway, or he's a mat technician, if he's like an NXT UK fucking Matt Genius, or if he's just a storyteller, like it doesn't matter. The guy was born of the guy who created everything in wrestling that we have today. He was born into the role of a dominant position in this company. He has the charisma to be an on-air talent, and he outperforms virtually all the wrestlers on the mic. And he does a bunch of stupid spots. I don't like him either, but he puts on entertaining matches that tell a story every time.
Every single time. Shane McMahon, you know, he comes to the show and he gives you the show, and sometimes he even steals the show.
One more challenge to all you bums at home. Get 5 minutes of screen time in front of 20,000 screaming fans, right? Which you can't handle to begin with. You probably couldn't perform in front of a living room with 3 of your friends. And try to do the dancing, try to do the talking, try to do the wrestling, try to do anything that Shane McMahon does. The guy is a prodigy. He's fantastic, and you marks are wrong for not liking him.
You're tuned in to another episode of To Be Blunt with Peasy.
Beyond that 4th of July shit.
Man, I feel like it's the 4th month and the 20th day right now. That's how lit I am.
That thing got me litty. I think I'm going to spark the rest. Is there anything left of this?
Yeah, there's a couple rippers.
Ooh, that might be good before the next segment where we talk about gas or trash.
Yep.
You know what? Because I tell you what, though, this has been quite the show. Last show we did, I was pretty good. Like, I didn't do no stupid shit. I drank my water and we smoked. I had a little blunt. This show, because it's the holiday, I figured we got to go in. So I had a couple of them spiked drinks we got there. I've had a few.
Shots.
I had some nippers here, or some cinnamon whiskey. We got the King Palm, which you probably can check out on the IG for the 2B Blunt podcast. You know what I mean? And surprisingly, this show is still going, with the exception that Don Kincaid decided not to pick up the phone for the hotline.
Yeah, but whatever. It's the holidays. He's getting lit on the holidays. We're getting lit on the holidays.
This is true.
It's the 4th of July. It's the independence of America. I mean, I almost want to ask you, just maybe for, not just for me, but maybe the listeners out there, if you could pull up the beginning song one more time to get us pumped up. You know, we want to feel American today.
You want to feel American?
We want to feel American.
You want to feel American?
We're lighting blunts.
You want to
we're
feel
lighting
American?
fireworks.
I'll give you American. Yeah. How's this for American, you son of a bitch?
What's right? Fight for your life.
This is exactly what I wanted, brother.
You know something, brother? We're already over an hour through this podcast. And we're taking our pills. We're drinking our whiskeys. We're smoking our blunts. We're dropping leg drops, brother. The Mega Powers, Frank Knox, and Hollywood Hulk Peasy.
Yeah.
How's that? How's that?
That was great.
Hollywood Hulk Peasy.
Hollywood
Hulk. It's Hollywood Hulk Peasy. It's Hollywood Hulk Peasy. Can you believe it? Oh, man. If you guys want to call in, 860-384-7110.
Yeah, please call in if you want to spit a rhyme.
Or
you want to just talk. You just want to shoot the shit.
This is the holiday podcast.
It's the holiday podcast.
Yeah, we're on the rip right now.
Yep.
384-7110, 860 area code. What? Yo, wiki.
Slim Shady.
Hey, my man, you already know.
Yeah, man. So we've just been drinking and smoking this whole show. It's been real fun. It's been real fun. 4th of July. We've been chilling.
I tell you what about this smoking, though, because this motherfucking jabroni Frank Knox had no weed.
Yo, I couldn't find weed, man, for 2 days.
For 2 days, this guy tells me he hasn't been able to find no herb.
No herb. This shit's dry out there. It's heat wave. It's dry.
So how come I got fucking ounces of weed here?
Because you're like a hoarder of weed. Like anytime someone's like, "Yo, man, I got this new bud," you're like, "All right, I'll take a quarter. I'll take a half. I'll take an ounce." You know?
Yo, you never know when the end of the world's coming. You got to be prepared, bro. You know?
One thing you will know is if there's a zombie apocalypse, Peasy will be the last man with marijuana in this world.
That's right. And probably the only man left with marijuana in this world. You know?
Wow.
But you say you've been having trouble finding weed for like 2 days.
Yeah, man. I wish there was an alternative solution where you didn't have to worry about it.
Well, you remember last week when we talked about remember the commercial we aired about the bright side?
Yeah,
The weed thing is kind of all preppy, though. You know,
yeah, that wasn't really my feel.
That wasn't your feel, but I got one. I think that it might appeal to you, right? So I got this idea. We put this thing together. A service that you don't have to worry about a weed dealer.
No way, man.
Yeah, a service that'll bring you weed to your door.
See, but my problem is like I don't want to just try one type of weed though. Like I want to have like a variation. So, like, I want to try out a couple different strands. Like,
I think this service might do everything for you. It might give you a few strains that you could try.
All right, that's something I could get behind.
And then keep what you like.
Sign me up, playa.
And I call this one Loud Pack. Sometimes life can be a little stressful.
Damn, my bag is so low.
Sometimes the wait for the weed dealer can be just too much to bear.
I've been waiting all day for this guy.
Sometimes you need to take matters into your own hands. Sometimes you need a Loud Pack. Loud Pack is a subscription service that delivers the dankest of herb right to your front door. Each week we will provide 3 different Ziploc bags of the loudest herb to sample so you can choose what you like and send back what you don't. Let's see your weed dealer provide that kind of service.
Life is so much better without the weed, man.
Our Loud Packs are guaranteed to put you in the chillest of moods, whether it's dealing with family on the holiday or simply binge watching your favorite series online.
Loud Packs may cause dry mouth, insatiable hunger, giggles, drowsiness, anxiety, increased sexual desire, panic attacks, temporary loss of bodily functions, increased heart rate, paranoia, hallucinations, slow reaction time, and short-term memory recall issues. Please use as often as you'd like.
Sign up today for your Loud Pack.
This is the one above all. Your LCW World Champion and the Stone CZW World Tag Team Champion. And you're tuned into another episode of To Be Blunt with Peasy.
Yo, it's that beat again, bro.
Yo, this shit is fire.
I gotta do it. I let him fail last week, bro. I gotta give him some new shit.
Yo, hit him with it.
I gotta give it to you, Get High Rapper.
Yes, sir.
Your host, Peasy. Yeah. White boy with the flow, dough. It's what I got slanging on the low. Hey, in case you didn't know, I'm the rapper smoking rappers, put the game off in a chokehold. Cooking chickens in the kitchen, this ain't no dose. What I'm cooking made a box will never disclose. Only thing you need to know, there's the shit that all these white hoes stuffing up in their nose. Whoa, fresh clothes wherever I goes. Don't be mad at all these bitches because they chose. Yo, they know I'm the pro, I suppose that they chose me cause you're getting so close. Yup. Smoking on a loud pack. VIP still smoking cause I'm about that. Get high, rapper, you didn't know that. CT, tell them why they better know that. Fucking hater, take a lesson from a boss hog. All these haters want these haters worth a pound dog. So when you roll up, make the shit a face piece. All you want is get it to start to increase. Yup, man, they coming out the woodwork. Steady claiming that they got it slinging rework. They be begging PC, please just let me in for free. How you call yourself a baller if you jocking me?
Yup. Yo, that was some hot shit, man.
That was some crazy shit.
Yo, I'm so fucking high. Matter of fact, it's the 4th of July. Ha ha, I'm feeling real fly. I'm the podcast with my boy PG Ride or Die.
Yep.
Here we go again, now we is spitting. Nothing we ever do ever is pre-written. Coming off the dome, now I'm going home. Everybody wants to see me in my zone. 4th of July, fireworks popping. Everything we never done and recycling. Hey, this is real crazy. I didn't think I spit live on the radio. Yo,
oh shit,
that's some old school shit, man. We had to spit like that in a minute.
Just went off right now.
Yep.
And that's, man, we need that shit. That's what we need. You guys need to understand this whole, gas or trash segment is all about y'all wanting to be spitting live on air.
Yeah, spit live or even come sing on air. I don't care. Do a poem. Do something.
Well, I mean.
Well, a poem. Well, that's a little too far.
I'd rather listen to people cut a promo.
If you want to call and cut a promo, call and cut a promo.
If you think you can call and cut a better promo than me, call me right now. 860.
That's right.
384-7110. If you think
you
that
got
you
5
can
minutes.
call, you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes? You want me to talk for 5 minutes? Fine. If someone can call me and tell me they can cut a better promo than me, right here, right now, let Frank Knox be the impartial, unbiased judge.
Impartial.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm sorry, Peasy. I'm sorry. You're right. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, gas or trash.
Submit your shit.
If you want to be on any week, send an email, tobebluntpodcast@gmail.com.
Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook, whatever you want to do.
That too.
Follow us on that.
Yeah. And come on and send me a sample. Send us a sample of something to listen to so we know that you can actually do something, worth putting on the air.
If you want to ask a question, you're going to have to call during the segment and ask a question.
Right.
Because, we can't answer all the questions that we get.
No, but if they want to be on, they got to send an email submission. Name and a sample of your work.
Yep.
If you're good, we'll let you know when you're going to be on. Simple as that.
Simple as that. But how about anyone call and cut a promo?
No one wants to cut a promo.
No one wants to cut a promo.
Nobody wants to cut a promo against me.
I don't blame them.
That's right. I don't blame them either. And it doesn't even matter because you know what? We've been doing this thing for a long time now today. Almost an hour and 40 minutes. Some shit like that.
An hour and 40 minutes.
I don't know, bro.
No way, Jose.
I don't know. Something crazy.
Man, I hope you guys all had a 4th of July. We really appreciate anyone that listened in, and we hope that you tune in again next week,
That's right. Make sure you check all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all 2B Blunt Podcast is the username. So make sure you get up on there, follow us, give us likes, give us love, and we will see you next week. The 2B Blunt Podcast returns live at 6 p.m., and each and every week you are going to get nothing but the highest.
We done here.
It's the highest motherfucking podcast around. To be blunt.
With